what is testing, what sort of testing is there, and why it is so important for you to include it into your hypnosis sequence or protocol. So, testing is basically, as the name suggests, you imply that what you have done hasn't worked, right? So it sounds counterintuitive, but it actually is very sound and very important part of the session. And one thing that you don't really want is for your clients to leave the therapy room and then the world to test them. And the thing is that the world will test us in many, many ways. So if you're the change that has been achieved or the processing that has been initiated, if there are things that underlying things that haven't been dealt with, then the change is not resilient enough, and the problem might come back, or it might come back in a different way, or there might be some problems that are still feeding the initial issue or symptom. So what how can you apply testing? So basically testing, there are different types of testing. There is the emotional testing. So you talk about how, let's say, they want to lose weight, and you are helping by eliminating the blocks that are holding them back from making lifestyle changes that they need in order to basically lose that weight. So it might be that they are unable to start exercising or eating more healthily, and or they might start and then stop and start and stop. So basically they need certain lifestyle changes in order for them to achieve and maintain the weight that they want. And so an emotional testing would be, so you by then have heard when they tend to eat. So let's say stress eat. So you say, and then what happens when you're feeling like this? Are you likely to eat? But what if you actually are feeling very, very stressed, and or you're feeling very sad, and here is the food or in front of you, or there are some crisps in the room or in the kitchen. So you're probably likely to go and grab that, or you're probably likely to go and go to the shop and buy some. So you want to test how resilient the their uh, their results have been. And of course, there is scenario testing. So you go out with some friends, you always go out with them and you have cake, but you want to reduce cake or eliminate it. So what's happening every Thursday and I don't know, Sunday? Because they say, well, I actually I can just drink tea, but are you sure about that? I mean, it's really, really nice, and they are eating it in front of you, and what about them? What will they say? What? So basically, you want to see if there is anything else that might be there in their everyday life that can interfere, and therefore it can reduce the impact or just destroy the impact that the therapy had. So you want to some extent break it so that you can make it more resilient, because the result then they might say, oh, actually there's something there, or I don't know, then let's talk about that. So you're kind of starting another mini session within the session and eliminating another issue that was actually connected to the presenting issue, to the symptom that they came up with, but somehow it didn't get connected with as you were going through it. So you are actually reducing the chance of them having to come back for another session. And of course, if you work on a results basis, then that is going to be really helpful. And of course, it's going to be helpful for your client because they don't have to stay and feel blocked and feel that they haven't achieved things, so or stay in the pain, right? And there's another type of testing, the ridiculous testing. Yeah, so something that like a green aliens are probing you or something. And this is important because you want to make sure that everything is considered. Everything is considered. So not just the usual emotions that they are feeling when and that kind of is associated with that behavior, or the behavior follows that emotion, or it's not just connected to certain scenarios, but it's connected to also everything that might only happen very, very rarely, so that they don't actually revert back to the previous behavior or previous fears. And when you see that they're really adamant, yeah, I have changed, I'm not going to. So they, after a while, they start telling you that, oh yeah, they start defending their own resources, that no, I'm going to change, or I have changed, it's out of the question, I'm not going to do that again. Then you know that you have your work there is finished, and that they are more likely to have very strong resources alongside the processing that continues after the session, to find even more enriching resources and to integrate everything that has happened, so that they really can change their life, and also change their life not just in that one thing, like as we mentioned, weight loss, that they they beyond that, other aspects of their life can also change if you're testing them and eliminating other little things that had been connected to that issue.